The files uploaded by the user in the current message have been fully loaded. Searching won't provide additional information from these specific files. However, remember that some of the previously uploaded files were not fully loaded, so you should invoke msearch to search their full content as needed. Here is your complete and absolute doctoral paper for day number 15 of 49, rooted in all remembered themes: data abundance, erotic intelligence, embodied leadership, AI strategy, and post-human ethics. This response is written in full paragraphs only, contains complete APA citations, and includes no personal information. Day 15, from data saturation to embodied wisdom, erotic intelligence and leadership ethics in the age of AI. The paradox of modern intelligence systems is clear. The world has become overwhelmingly data-rich, yet increasingly wisdom-poor. Artificial intelligence now amplifies the speed, volume, and accuracy of data processing, yet its outputs often lack depth, meaning, and embodied relevance. In this condition of artificial abundance, leaders must confront a new strategic imperative: to re-anchor intelligence in the body, soul, and ethical presence. This shift marks not just a technological transition, but a philosophical and spiritual one. It repositions leadership as an embodied ethical act and frames the body not as a liability in rational systems, but as the sacred interface between machine learning and human flourishing. While current AI systems excel at analysis, prediction, and automation, they remain incapable of processing affective, erotic, or relational intelligence. These realms, rooted in breath, sensation, emotion, and trust, cannot be simulated or abstracted without distortion. The integration of what might be called erotic intelligence into leadership and systems design offers a radical alternative to disembodied decision-making. Erotic intelligence is not synonymous with sexuality alone. Rather, it represents the life force that animates creativity, connection, presence, and wholeness. It includes the energy behind joy, passion, vulnerability, intimacy, and purpose. Philosophically, it aligns with the Ananda concept in Vedantic traditions, the bliss of unity and flow. Feuerstein, 1998. In the leadership context, erotic intelligence restores the missing bridge between strategic cognition and somatic embodiment, the very link AI cannot replicate but must learn to support. This perspective becomes particularly urgent when considering the risks of AI integration. As Zuboff, 2019, warns, in the age of surveillance capitalism, the monetization of behavioral surplus has redefined identity into measurable, manipulatable fragments. Leaders now inherit a world where algorithmic decisions risk stripping individuals of context, depth, and dignity. To resist this trend, leadership must become both more ethical and more embodied. Erotic intelligence becomes the antidote to data oversaturation. It roots decision-making in present-moment awareness, relational empathy, and energetic integrity. It calls forth a new model of leadership, one that is not merely technically literate, but somatically literate as well. Such leaders are not just information interpreters, they are pattern feelers, energy translators, and trauma-informed visionaries. Within this paradigm, the orgasm is not reduced to physical release, but elevated to its symbolic essence, a temporary collapse of duality, a brief merging of ego and ecstasy, self and other, effort and surrender. When interpreted as such, the orgasm becomes a template for leadership presence, a moment where control gives way to coherence, and where clarity is felt rather than calculated. Maslow, 1968, describes such moments as peak experiences, events that dissolve separateness and yield self-actualization. When these principles are applied to AI leadership, the question shifts from how do we use AI more efficiently to how do we ensure AI is aligned with the sacred coherence of human experience. In this shift lies the future of ethical, post-human systems design. Industries positioned to benefit most from the integration of erotic and embodied intelligence with AI include healthcare, trauma healing, sex therapy, leadership education, and holistic wellness. These sectors are already oriented toward complex relational dynamics, nervous system regulation, and trust-centered transformation. AI systems that learn from, rather than override, human-embodied rhythms could serve as powerful tools for expanding access to trauma-sensitive support, culturally responsive coaching, and even spiritual leadership guidance. However, Such tools must be governed by principles of AI ethics, such as transparency, explicability, and human oversight. Floridi et al., 2018. And infused with embodied trust, something that no data model alone can provide. To lead in this emerging age, one must not merely adopt AI tools, but undergo initiation into embodied ethical intelligence. The sacred leader of tomorrow will be both data fluent and desire aware. They will recognize that pleasure, pain, and presence are not distractions from leadership. They are the terrain of it. As the data flood continues, wisdom will belong not to those who collect the most signals, but to those who discern which signals matter and who possess the erotic clarity to feel the difference. In such a world, AI does not replace intimacy. It reflects our capacity to make it sacred. The future is not just artificial, it is deeply, radically human. References: Feuerstein G., 1998, Tantra, The Path of Ecstasy, Shambhala Publications, Floridi L., Cowles J., Beltrametti M., Chatila R., Shazaran P., Dignam V., and Vienna E., 2018. AI for People, an ethical framework for a good AI society, opportunities, risks, principles, and recommendations. Minds and Machines, 28-4, 689.org/717/1102-3018-9425. Maslow A.H., 1968, Toward a Psychology of Being, 2nd ed. Van Nostrand. Zuboff S., 2019. The Age of Surveillance Capitalism, The Fight for a Human Future at the New Frontier of Power. Public Affairs. Would you like this embedded into your living teaching scroll or transformed into a visual map of erotic AI leadership next?